Peter and Barbara. And that carries us down the line for the second time and leaves us with an interesting challenge. We've got 32 minutes to fit in another 6 songs, so they're going to be short ones with minimal introductions. So Vic, would you like to contribute your short one with a minimal introduction?
Right, I was sitting relaxing, reading the Round Index at lunchtime. I know this song, very good song from, I can't give it an introduction. Henry Clay Work, who, great American songwriter, a little bit after Stephen Foster in the 1860s. He's the one who came over to England and came to Piercebridge up the road here and saw heard the story of the grandfather's clock. And if you visit the George in Piercebridge, you'll see a load of stuff about it. You'll see the clock there itself. But this is not the grandfather's clock, this is the ship that never returned. And I found that Steve Rowder collected a version of this from Frida Palmer in bygone days. But this is from, I heard it first from Harry Upton, a singer from Sussex, and this is it. Oh, it was one bright sunny morning on a soft and sighing sea. The ship set sail, heavy cargo to the land on the sea. There was fun, there was loving gestures from the heart that for them young, but they never thought all would perish on the ship like never return. Oh, they never return, they never return, and their faces never gone. And from that day to this, they are watching and waiting for the ship that never returns. And the pale face points to his loving mother, he crossing that white wild sea. For they tell me that in the foreign country there is help and love from me. And the motherless grip from affection of her heart still for him yearn. And she sent him away, the mother's blessing on the ship and never returned. And never returned, never returned. It's still on board. From that day to this day, watching and waiting for the ship that never returned. Only one more trip, said that gallant captain as he kissed his fond young wife. Only one more bag of that golden treasure and we'll settle down in life. And we'll leave this place from little cottage and enjoy the love we've heard. But she never thought love would perish on the ship that never returned. Oh, it never returned, oh, it never returned. It's still on board. And from that day to this, watching and waiting for the ship that never returned.
Perfect. Right. Where? Oh, have I gone out of order? Oh dear, all right. Oh dear, Judy.
Just because I'm not sitting here. Are we going out of order or are we going in order?
You're going in order.
You can come in the middle out of the session.
Oh, Mary, dear, lay by your grief and do not sorrow so. Your lovely dear, you met his death more than a year ago. His brother John to court her came, yield upon his knee. I loved you true for many's a year, oh, won't you marry me? Her gown of black she laid aside, put on a gown of green. She promised she would be his bride, she outshone the county queen. The wedding day came clear and bright, and to the church they went. The young folks danced, the children laughed, all were on pleasure bent. He mounted her on a milk-white steed, himself upon the roan. Away they rode across the fields towards his brother's home. As they rode towards his brother's home, going up the hill, the wind blew cold and the wind blew hard, she shivered with a chill. As they rode up between the trees, going to his home, the wind blew cold and the wind blew hard, she thought she heard a moan. What is that sound, my husband dear? It mourns like a heart dismayed. It's but the wind, John Gordon said, so do not be afraid. That night she lay beside him there upon the feather bed. The wind blew cold, the wind blew hard, she saw his hand was red. The wind blew cold and the wind blew hard, it made a fearsome sound. She heard the hoofs of a driven steed galloping o'er the ground. She heard the sound of the dead man's voice. My brother stole my bride, he stole my house, he stole my land. He stole my red blood's tide, my bones lie bleaching on the rocks at the foot of the dark, dark dale. He pushed me off the high rock cliff, all in the moonlight pale. The wind blew cold and the wind blew hard, I'm coming for my own. My bride I'll take, you keep the rest. She heard the dead man moan, and she saw him stand beside her bed, all in the moon's pale light. Now come with me, my promised bride, my love you shall not slight. The morning came, John Gordon woke up to find her gone. He searched the house, he searched the grounds, for days the search went on. And they found her bones in the dark, dark dale. With her lover's bones they lay. The wind blows cold and the wind blows hard round that spot to this day.
Lovely, isn't it? Cool. Yes, let's have Brian, then we'll have Ian, then...
My most recent presentation for the Traditional Song Forum online was a review of a book called The Folk that basically attempted to demolish the folk scene, the entire concept, and made out that Cecil Sharp was a fascist. So my review was somewhat critical. You can read it in the last copy of the Folk Music Journal, the last edition. So I'm going to sing something from Cecil Sharp, partly as a link with that presentation, also because, as Derek has kindly informed me, today is Cecil Sharp's 130th wedding anniversary. That's something to celebrate.
It's a long marriage.
Well, he married his wife Constance, who he had a pet name for. He called her Dardalo, for reasons that we can only guess at. He addressed his letters to her as Dear Dardy. So this is a version of Scarborough Fair that Cecil Sharp himself collected just up the road from here in Goldcliff. Where are you going to Scarborough? of fair, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. Once she was a true lover of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric shirt, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, without any needle nor thread-bearing word. Then she'll be a true lover of mine. Tell her to wash it in yonder well, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, water nest sprung and a drop of rain fell. Then she'll be a true lover of mine. Tell her to plough me an acre of land, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, between the sea and the saltwater strand. Then she'll be a true lover of mine. Tell her to plough it all with the ram's horn, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, sow it all over with one peppercorn. Then she'll be a true lover of mine. Tell her to reap it with a slipper of leather, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, marry it up with a tomtit's feather. Then she'll be a true lover of mine. Tell her to gather it all in a sack, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, carry it home on a butterfly's back. Then she'll be a true lover of mine. Where are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. Remember me to one who is there. Once she was a true lover of mine.
Brian. Ian, would you like to make a contribution?
I had a tremendous privilege of having Stanley Robertson working with me for 4 years. Can you imagine that? Stanley, for those of you who are not aware, it was Jeannie's nephew, and his repertoire was bigger than Jeannie's, and he had an enormous repertoire of stories as well. Actually, amazing man to work with. I met Stanley at the National in Sutton Bonington, and I invited him to my school on a couple of occasions as well. This song was a bit of a challenge. Comes from the Glen Bucket ballads, and I said to Stanley, you know, I'd love to sing this, but I haven't got a tune. And Stanley said, no worries. He said, I have a tune, and he gave me a tune that he had sung as a young man, but didn't sing anymore because he had a better tune in his opinion. And the song, the ballad, was The College Boy. And but here is the story from this ballad from the Glen Bucket collection, the story of young Craigston, a marriage of convenience to save the family fortunes of Craigston Castle. And Craigston is just a few miles from Turriff in North Aberdeenshire. I was born in Aberdeenshire. The trees they grow high, and the leaves they grow green. The days are a while that you and I have seen, and better days will come again, and I shall happy be. For my bonny boy is daily a-growing. I've climbed up a tree that is too high for me. I've been eating of a fruit that's ne'er growing. I've been seeking hot water beneath the cold ice, and against the flowing stream I've been rowing. Oh feyther, you've done to me much wrong, to go and get me married to our younger man. I should have married him with a staff in his hand, afore I'd have married a boy. Oh daughter, I've done to you nae wrong, to go and get you married to our younger man. You hae your tucker into your ain hand, and your bonny boy is daily a-growing. Oh feyther, if you think it fit, I will send my boy to college for a year or two yet, and I will tie a ribbon blue all around his hat, for to let the ladies ken that he's married. And she's looked over her father's castle wall, saw 24 college boys a-playing at the bar, and her true love, young Craigston, was the fairest of them all, for her bonny boy was daily a-growing. And at the age of 13 years he was a married man. Aye, and at the age of 14 years the father of a son. Aye, and at the age of 15 years the grass was growing green. Cruel death soon put an end to Craigston's growing. The trees they grow high, and the leaves they grow green. The days are a while that you and I have seen, and another may be happy where I happy be. with young Craigston a-growing.
Perfect, lovely ballad. Peter and Barbara. Because Katie's going to finish up with an extravaganza.
Fred Hamer collected a lady called Emma Vickers, who lives in Bearscote on the Leeds Liverpool Canal. And in 1970, I was lucky enough to go with John. And John collected her as well in the early 70s. So this is her version of the Heron's Head, and it's got a nice, if you can't remember all the verses, it's got a nice foldy-roldy bit. What shall we do with the Heron's Head? All sorts of loaves of bread. Loaves of bread, the Heron's Head, and all sorts of things. Of all the fish that's in the sea, the heron it is the fish will be. Right to the day, right to the day. What shall we do with the herring's eyes? All sorts of puddings and pies. Puddings and pies, the herring's eyes. Loaves of bread, the herring's head, and all sorts of things. Of all the fish that's in the sea, the herring it is the fish will be. Right to the day, right to the day. What shall we do with the herring's fins? All sorts of needles and pins. Needles and pins, the herring's fins. Puddings and pies, the herring's eyes. Loaves of bread, the herring's head, and all sorts of things. Of all the fish that's in the sea, the herring is the fish will be. Right to the day, right to the day. What shall we do with the herring's gills? All sorts of potions and pills. Potions and pills, the herring's gills. Needles and pins, the herring's fins. Puddings and pies, the herring's eyes. Loaves of bread, the herring's head, and all sorts of things. Of all the fish that's in the sea, the herring it is the fish will be. Right to the day, right to the day. What shall we do with the herring's belly? All sorts of jams and jelly. Jams and jelly, the herring's belly. Potions and pills, the herring's gills. Needles and pins, the herring's fins. Puddings and pies, the herring's eyes. Loaves of bread, the herring's head, and all sorts of things. Of all the fish that's in the sea, the herring it is the fish will be. Right to the day, right to the day. What shall we do with the herring's tail? The finest ship that ever set sail. A ship that set sail, the herring's tail. Jams and jelly, the herring's belly. Potions and pills, the herring's gills. Needles and pins, the herring's fins. Puddings and pies, the herring's eyes. Loaves of bread, the herring's head. All sorts of things. Of all the fish that's in the sea, the herring it is the fish will be. Right to the day, right to the day. Right to the day.
Excellent stuff. Cool. And good singing. Well done. Katie has persuaded those orchestrally inclined members of this august group that they might like to join her in a rendition of...
I'll tell you in a minute. It's a very short story, actually. This is connected with a talk I gave for the TSF online forum, which was called Will the Real Paddy O'Rafferty Stand Up? And it was about one particular tune, song and stage show that the tune was on a barrel organ that went to the Arctic. It went out in 1819 on a ship to the Arctic, and it was designed, there were 5 barrels, 40 tunes on there. There were about 8 hymns and patriotic songs, and all the rest were dance tunes. And they were designed for the sailors to exercise to on deck, because they knew they were searching for the Northwest Passage, and they knew they were going to be icebound over the winter months. So to keep the crew, they took dramatic costumes and all sorts of other things as well.
Do these not need keeping fit?
Yes. They marched and they danced to them. And there were lots of, Paddy Rafferty was one of them, Paddy Carey, and several other well-known tunes. And this one, which is Speed the Plough. And I'll just tell you really quick story how Speed the Plough came to be called Speed the Plough. It wasn't initially called Speed the Plough, it was called The Naval Pillar. And it was from a show written in 1978 from the London stage. And the Naval Pillar was actually what is Nelson's column. It was built to celebrate Nelson.
1878.
No, 1798.
Oh, no.
1970.
Yeah.
Oh, 1920.
Slippery things, dates.
And then that particular song and dance was so popular at the Naval Pillar that it got transferred into another show which was called Speed the Plough.
Do you want to share out of the song?
No, it's fine now. So we're going to play Speed the Plough, fight us through, maybe? Is that enough?
You're in charge. Wrong. Wonky wrong.
So, that is the traditional song forum in action. And thank you all for your contributions today, but thank you all for what you've contributed in your work with the forum over the last several years in some cases. Steve, did you want to say anything? Seeing as it's all your fault.
Sing us a song, Steve.
Okay. Well, I gave him the opportunity. It's alleged that Steve may have put notes together in the past, but you never know. May decide to join the rest of us in singing one day. Thank you all for coming. Don't forget, the Traditional Song Forum is here for everyone in this room. It's an organisation you may be interested in joining. You don't have to do a lot, just pay attention. And Sean, get a card from Sean. Pick a card, any card, they're all the same.
And thank you to Martin, because he's a great big part of the team.
As as I say, all I did was fail to take a step back. Anyway, thank you for coming today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon.